Hello guys, good day. So welcome to part 3 sa ating learning session 1 sa project construction and management learning session. Okay, so we are now on part 3. Last time we stopped on management structures. So ngayon guys, we will continue on management control. Okay, so as a verb, control means to check or regulate or to keep within limits. Then, control includes activities that require restrictive or corrective action. Okay, so example nito are excessive labor cost. Kailangan ito ng corrective action guys because it means additional expenses to the organization or company. So, kailangan i-correct. So, that is why we need to be restrictive. Okay, so number 2, other example is undue equipment failure. So, this one also means additional expenses also. So, unnecessary expenses and lower production. Okay? Okay, so success or failure of any enterprise depends greatly upon the manager. So, manager, ganito ka-importante yung ating mga manager guys. He or she needs to have an effective control of the organization and he or she also knows what to do so that objective of the company is achieved. Okay? Okay, so to have effective control, the manager must know by heart the reasons why his business exists. Okay, so this is very important kasi pag hindi alam ng manager kung ano yung reason or ano yung kanyang objective ng company, so baka chaos yung mangyari or baka hindi magtagumpay yung organization sa mga targets nito. Okay? A manager must be a good planner and a good organizer. Okay, so this is the two qualities of a good manager, guys. So, must be a good planner and a good organizer. Okay, so I think engineers possess these qualities. So that's why in project construction, usually the manager are engineers also. Okay, so effective communication system. Okay, so this is very important. In my previous videos, I always say that coordination and communication is very important to achieve the goals of the company or the targets. Okay, so important element of executive control. So this one is communication. In the system, adequate and reliable data are collected and disseminated to the proper persons and units at the right time. Okay, so remember na in a construction organization, there are a lot of units and sections in the company. So that is why the cascading of information and communication is very important. So we cannot hindi natin kayang kuanin na magkamali tayo sa ating mga communication system kasi baka magka-problema tayo or yung project na ating ginagawa. Okay, so to the manager, information has 4 purpose to serve. Okay, so number 1, it must answer the questions, what are we going to do? So ano yung ating gagawin? Okay? So number 2, how well are we doing? So ano ba yung status? Okay, so if you are handling a projects, so ano ba yung status ng projects natin? Are we delayed or are we ahead of time? So ito yung ating dapat malaman as a manager. Okay, so number 3, how can we do better? So this is always a question in the project. So ano ba yung ating mga posibleng gagawin para gumanda pa yung ating mga production or let us say yung ating mga targets is makuha natin ahead of time and without problems. Okay, so number 4, does it serve as an aid to coordination? Okay, So, coordination again guys. So, ganito ka-important ang ang coordination sa ating organization. Okay, so the manager, okay? Most difficult and with the highest degree of responsibility kasi siya yung nagmamanage sa lahat ng resources. That's personnel and lahat ng assets ng company. So, siya yung decision maker. So, kailangan niya ng mga good data rin para scientific yung mga decision ng ating manager. Okay, so we will discuss that one later, the scientific management. Okay, so nature of her job varied from the simplest to the most complicated one. So, ganyan yung ating mga manager guys, lahat ay tinitingnan niya. Okay, so siya yung bridge between the board of directors or BOD and stockholders or between top management and the rest of the personnel. Then, ano ba yung mga quality ng effective managers or manager? Okay? Number 1, studies, analyzes, and dissects his job. Okay? Number 2, knows how to delegate the administrative details of his job. Okay? So, remember na pag tayo ay isang manager, napaka-broad yung ating responsibility. So, that is why we need to delegate to the proper person. So, dapat alam natin kung sino yung binibigyan natin ng trabaho at kung kaya niya yung trabaho. And if he or she is qualified na gawin yung pinapagawa mo. Okay? Para at least wala kang magiging problema. So, mostly, ang dinidelegate ng ating manager is yung kanyang mga trusted na personnel. Okay, so number 3, willing to delegate to and share with his subordinates the credit of a job well done. Okay, so parang motivation. So, ina-appreciate ng manager kung ano yung nagagawa ng kanyang mga personnel. Okay, so number 4, trains and develops his men to prepare them to assume delegate work. Okay, so training. Okay, so this one, in a company, that is why there are seminars and training for the personnel. Okay, so number 5, knows how to control and plan his time. So, this is time management. Kasi yung manager is siyempre due to his position, marami siyang mga appointments. So, kailangan niyang matuto how to control and also plan his time or yung kanyang mga oras. Okay, so number 6, institutes controls for effective performance. Okay, so executive functions. Okay, managers do not do the actual work. His functions are, so ito yung mga functions ng managers, di ba? Kasi siya yung nagmamanage sa lahat ng assets ng company, personnel also, and resources. So ito yung kanyang mga functions. Okay, number 1 is to plan. So, siya yung nagpaplano. Okay, so siya yung head or sa kanya nanggagaling yung plan. Number 2, to organize. So, kailangan niya mag-organize. Okay? The number 3, to direct. So, kailangan niyang i-direct yung kanyang mga personnel kung ano yung mga objective ng company or targets. Okay, number 4 is to control. Okay, so we have discussed this one a while ago, the control. Okay. Okay, so we're going to planning. So planning, so a job of making things happen. Okay, so we need to plan our work. Okay. So, you cannot, in engineering we have to plan everything. Kasi without a plan, so, problem will arise. Okay, so, planning is very important. Okay, then planning is an intellectual process the conscious determination and direction of action. Okay, then planning also is economic and essential control. Okay, so plans may be classified as follows. Okay, so number 1, objective of the enterprise. Number 2, policies. Okay, the number 3 is procedures. Number 4 is budget. Okay, so ito yung mga classification ng plans. Then we have number 5 is programs. Okay, programs to achieve the goals of the organization. Then number 2 is organizing. Okay, so organizing is simply improving the organization. Will always improve performance. But a good organization structure is necessary, though not a sufficient condition for good performance. Remember na may mga organization na hindi masyadong maganda, but maganda yung kanilang performance because sa kanilang management. So kailangan pag maganda yung management mo, maganda rin yung organization mo. So parang dalawa silang magkasabay. Okay? Okay, so directing. So number 3 is directing. Guiding and overseeing subordinates. Okay? Engineers, this is our job. Okay? In projects. So guiding and overseeing subordinates. Remember na we are not the one who do the actual job. So we are just guiding. Okay, and number 2 is overseeing. So this is the work of an engineer. Okay, in directing, 2 processes enter the picture. Okay, remember that we engineers are leaders. So we have leadership, and number 2 is coordination because we have to communicate with our personnel. Okay, so kailangan natin i-explain sa kanila kung ano yung ating mga objectives. So that is why it's coordination. Then control. Okay, so control is a process by which an executive gets the performance of the subordinates to correspond as closely as possible to chosen, number 1, plans, 2, orders, number 3, objectives. Okay, then we have executive leadership. Okay, so this one is the bridge between objective and the result. Okay, so usually this is the job of the manager as an executive leader. Okay, so number 2, responsibility of the management is vested primarily on the manager. So this is what I've said a while ago, that manager is the bridge between objective and result. Okay, so leadership is the ability to motivate, okay, subordinates toward the achievement of organizational objectives. So this is the work of the manager also to motivate subordinates. Remember na we are not the one who are doing the actual job, so they are the subordinates. So we need to motivate them to have a proper work. Okay, so dapat maganda yung kanilang performance. Okay, so delegation of authority. This is very important in management, especially if you are a manager. So you have to delegate because of the broader let's say responsibility na may hawak ka. Okay? So key to effective management. Okay? So by delegation, kasi kaya nade-delegate mo yung mga trabaho, so yung gagawin mo na lang is check na lang. Then if your direction or your instruction are correct, so yun. So at least hindi masyadong maguguluhan yung utak mo, so less stress. Okay? Number 2, manager must have authority. So kailangan ito. So authority. Okay, so power of an administrator to delegate functions. Okay? So this is also the work of a manager. Should have limitations to avoid confusion. Okay? Delegation must have a limitation also. This is to avoid confusion. Kasi baka maguluhan yung mga subordinates natin sa rank and file pag hindi na-explain sa kanila kung saan lang yung limitation ng authority ng manager. Okay? Responsibility and authority, sorry. So this is parang mag-asawa ito eh. So partner. Okay? Sabi nga ng isang professor na responsibility is hell, kuno daw, without authority. Kung puro ka lang responsibility, so stress na stress ka pag ganito. Okay? Dapat magkasama yan. Okay, so there are people who constantly seek authority. Okay, so but evade responsibility. So ito yung mga managers na utos ng utos, pero pag may mga problema, nawawala. So tumataka sa kanilang mga responsibility. So remember na in organization, may tinatawag na command responsibility. So, yung nasa taas or yung management, usually, yun yung dapat accountable. Okay, so authority and responsibility must go together. So, ito yung sinasabi ko kanina, partner, itong dalawa or mag-asawa. Then, personnel coordination. Okay, so, organization is dependent upon the special abilities and skills of personnel to perform the work. Okay? Working on projects inspire a team spirit. Okay? Increasing their morale and motivation. So, this is personnel coordination. Then, we have scientific management. Okay, so scientific management actually is started from the works of Frederick W. Taylor, the father of scientific management. He also has associates, namely by Carl G. Bart and Henry L. Gantt, who are also, they also have a research. Example, Carl G. Bart uses research mathematics in scientific management. And also, Henry L. Gantt used the recognition of worker psychology, the development of bonus plan, and the charts used in production scheduling. Okay? So, this is developed by Henry L. Gantt. So, meaning scientific management is a management uses tools. So, meaning, if you have decisions, meron kang mga scientific na mga data. Okay? Where you have that is why it's called scientific management. Okay? So, parang database itong management na ito. So, hindi sila basta-basta nagbibigay ng mga decisions without proper data. Okay? Then we have humanistic management. Sabi nila, humanistic management is universally applicable. Okay? Kahit saan pwedeng gamitin. Then, personnel were given definite goals and understand what they should concentrate their talents on. So, parang focus. This is the approach of humanistic management. Okay? So, we have directing people on the job. Okay, I think this is last topic for our learning session 1. Then, okay, so malapit na pala tayo. Okay, so number 1, to get your people to follow as you want them to do promptly and willingly. Learn the art and techniques involved in giving orders. Okay? Then, what is order? So, ano ba yung order? So, hindi ito order sa restaurant. So, this is order from construction activities. Okay? So, order is a specific message conveyed by a leader to a follower. So, that is why if you can watch movies, especially military movies, you always heard that is an order. Okay, so it's conveyed by a leader to a follower. Okay, it same also sa construction projects. So same sa definition ng order. Okay, so ang order guys is either verbal or written. So pwedeng sabihin sa'yo or isulat. Nakasulat siya. Then when to have written order. So kailan dapat tayo magsulat ng order. Okay, so when precise figures or complicated details are involved. So siguro usually may mga numbers ito, may figures. Okay? Number 2, when orders must be passed on to someone else. So, ito very important kasi may mga order na pinasapasa din sa huli, yung gagawa ng order ay hindi na tama yung nasabi sa kanya, 'di ba? Yung parang yung relay ng message, 'di ba? Parang may laro ito na parang yung first person sinabihan mo ng isang phrase. Then, yung last, sasabihin niya kung ano yung sinabi sa first. So, kung napapansin natin, usually nagkakaproblema na ito. So, that is why, when orders must be passed on to someone else, you have to write it. So, dapat written yung order mo. Okay, so when the workers involved are slow to understand and forgetful. Okay, so remember guys na pag nasa construction industry tayo, especially yung ating mga workers, yun ay mga bali yung kanilang mga educational status is hindi ganun kataas or ka-level mo. So you have to go down to their level na dapat dahan-dahanin mo yung dahan-dahanin mo yung instruction and isulat mo para at least maintindihan nila. Okay, then may studyhan din nila. Okay, so when you want to hold the receiver strictly accountable. So, kung gusto mo yung naka-receive nito is dapat gawin niya kasi baka hindi niya ginawa. Yung iba dito is pinapa-receive yung mga written orders. Okay? Pag hindi niya ginawa, so meaning accountable siya kasi na-receive niya yung order. Okay, so when particular sequence must be followed exactly. Okay? So, this is our last slide, guys, for learning session 1, ha? Okay, so malapit na tayo. Then, when a notice board can be suitably used, kung meron kang board sa iyong mga office or mga construction site, pwede mong isulat doon para at least pag let us say break, nakikita ng ating mga personnel. So, nababasa nila. So, mas malaki yung chance na mas effective yung order mo pag ganun kasi hindi nakakalimutan. Then, when you are quoting general instruction on higher authority. Okay? Then, when a record is desirable, okay, so when you need the record, then perhaps the order may need to be referred to in the future. Okay? Okay guys, I think that is all for learning session 1, the organization and management. So I hope na meron tayong nakuha na mga learning sa learning session 1 na ito kasi nga this is called learning session. So sana may natutunan tayo or na-learn sa tatlong part ng videos sa learning session 1. Okay, so thank you guys for supporting this channel and also for your support and what's your time in watching this discussion. Okay, so once again guys, thank you and see you in the next video on project construction and management. So we are now on learning session 2. Okay. So, thank you.